John and I have to tell you about one of our favorite places to upload our wedding films, and that is Love Stories TV. Love Stories TV is one of the best free resources for wedding filmmakers. The best part is they are bringing the couples to us. All you have to do is upload your films and you are good to go. Upload unlimited wedding films to your completely free business page. Setup is easy and your films can be live in just minutes. Now is the perfect time to start uploading to Love Stories. Every video you upload is personally reviewed by the Love Stories team for potential social features. And if they choose one of your films, they'll pay you. They have paid wedding filmmakers over $15,000 in the past year just for features. To get all of the details, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv. Start uploading and have your work viewed by the Love Stories team and their audience of over 6 million followers. That's howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. I, as always, am Nick Miller, and I am joined by my best good buddy who has a nice new haircut. You know, it's kind of a high and tight fade. I don't know. It looks real good. Very Patrick Mahomesy. Anyway, joined with me is Mr. John Bunn. John, how are you today?
Man, I'm well. Thanks for the compliments on the hair. You know, just trying some new things. Enjoying growing my hair.
You know,
I'm just
kind of living vicariously through you. You know, I like your curly locks on top, and I wish that I could pull that off.
What if we combine somebody like put my hair on your head and your beard, or can somebody help us with this? I'm just saying,
I don't know if that's
it might be too much. Yeah, that beard on me. Well, I'm doing really well. Nick, today is obviously a very, very big day. If you're listening
big day for
this
us.
week,
Yep.
The CWV is back. The complete wedding videography course launches now today. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. All the messages we've gotten leading up to this of people saying, I'm joining. I'm so excited. You're opening the doors. Hasn't been open yet this year. It was last November before we opened, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the course is. If you want all the details of what it is, want to check it out, obviously you can just head over to completeweddingvideography.com. But Nick, it is a very, very big day for us. We've worked very hard for months leading up to this, promoting and getting ready to hopefully welcome a ton of you out there listening to the course, to the already several hundred people that are in the course already. So I'm well. Nick, I don't think I asked you though. How are you doing? What's good with you?
I am doing really good. As of recording this, we are gearing up to head to Tahoe, Lake Tahoe, for a wedding. Really excited about that. We're flying into Reno, Nevada, and I'm trying to talk my wife into letting us stop at a casino or two, but she doesn't like doing that kind of stuff, so it probably won't happen.
I love Reno.
Yeah. Never been to Reno, never been to Tahoe, so I'm really excited about all of it. I just, we really, excited to get out there. We are starting 7 weddings over 10 weeks in 5 different states. And so from now until mid-June, it's like go, 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 go. It's like, this will be, I have 15 weddings this year, and 9 of them will be done by mid-June. And so, kind of the rest of the year, our year is so interesting, so crazy. We have absolutely nothing in July, September, or November. And living in the Midwest and me saying that I have nothing in July, September, or November, I'm sure you're like, whoa. That is crazy. It kind of is, but that's just is what it is. So I'm doing well.
Excited.
To answer
I'm
your
excited
question.
for you to go check out Tahoe. I have been able to film a wedding there, and actually have family that live right outside of Tahoe. So I've been to that area a bunch of times. If you're from that area, I'm jealous of you. But Nick, it is so. I said butt Nick like 3 times. I keep saying butt Nick. I'm like subliminally just whatever that means. Anyway, here we are. It's a really big deal that we are launching the Complete Wedding Videography course. And just as a reminder, if you have not seen, we have a promo going for the first 50 people that join. So the doors are open today. I cannot guarantee you how long this promo will be running, but we love to entice you just a little bit to get off the fence, to take action, to start changing your wedding video business. So Nick, why don't you hit them with some of the highlights? Maybe leave the big one for last of what is included and how this is going to work. Because not everybody's going to get this one. Yeah, I'll let you talk.
Yeah. So what we like to do is every time we do a course launch, we like to, within our group, have a big giveaway, a big celebration to everyone that has purchased, and just say, here is this cool thing that we like to do in this group. And so a few things that we would be giving away if you are part of the first 50 people that purchase this. And everyone who has ever purchased a complete wedding videography course is eligible to win this as well. We have gotten a pack of the Wonderluts by Stanton Giles that we will be giving away to one person. We have gotten the Flow sound pack. I did a YouTube video about this a couple of weeks ago. It's an incredible sound pack for your wedding films that you can use. Multiply Media has hooked us up with that. And MusicBed is going to give away a wedding subscription for a year. And maybe some other things will be added into the mix. But this is one person is going to win all of this stuff. Is that right? Is that how we're doing it? One person is winning all of it?
One person. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, one person. And then the big thing that we are giving away is, we did this last time and it went over really, really well. We are going to give away a MacBook M1 chip, whatever computer. So
yeah, I'm running on one of those right now, and it's been a life changer. Like the other day, Nick, I'm not kidding. You produced and you dropped the video last week of like the Instagram templates. I had a 5-stack going on a vertical template with 5 4K like C-Log clips, fully graded, running smooth as butter. All on one. Yeah. Like I was like, oh my goodness, my computer at one point just started making the tiniest little noise, and I was like, wait a sec. Oh wait, I have 5 fully color graded LUTs applied, full quality, all on one timeline. So that will be awesome for one of you that either joins in the first 50 or have already purchased the course. The course is $14.97, or we have payments of $147. We want to make it easy for you to join. And we're going to take just a few minutes, because we can, this is our podcast, and remind you of what's in it. So
yes,
we can do whatever we want, Nick. I mean, you can, whatever you'd like to do. But
we can do whatever we want, and we will do whatever we want.
Unless you guys don't like it, then we won't be able to do it for very long. So anyway, Nick, why don't you hit him with some of the things, some of the highlights of in the course?
Yeah. So in the course, there are the 3 modules, business, shooting, and editing. It's stuff that's going to help you in all 3 aspects of your wedding filmmaking career. We have all of our digital templates, all of the digital templates that you can buy at howtofilmweddings.com. And one cool thing that we have actually added into this, John has recently gone through and updated our email templates. So we had 40 in there, and he's updated them for 2022, and that has grown to 65 emails. So we are including that brand new email template, all of those in the course. You're going to get our consultation guide, our budget sheets, all of our pricing guides. They're listed. You get all 3 of them, and you can pick the one that works best for you. And those are valued at $150 a piece. We have the Zoom calls, where one of the big ones is, John actually sits there and books a $15,000 wedding on the call. And, I recorded a call where I'm just talking to my couple about, kind of the vision for their film and what we can do with that. So you get all of these Zoom calls. There's a BTS edit where I spend so much time sitting down and walking through my thought process and what I do in editing a film. It's 20 hours, 15 hours. I don't know. It's a lot of content of me just kind of sitting there, going through this edit, talking about what I do. And then there's a couple of behind the scenes at weddings. John has done a couple. I've done one where you can just sit down and see exactly what we do, what we are thinking about on the wedding day. And then if you pay in full, so we have a pay in full bonus, and that is our posing guide for wedding videographers. So if you pay in full, you will go ahead and that will be included with your complete wedding videography course. A part of the premium bundle, we have a premium bundle, and included in this is a mentorship with John and I, an in-depth film review, and also we're kind of shifting the name a little bit of it. It was the YouTube Mastery. Now we're changing the name of it to Social Media Mastery, and we're going to start putting some different social media stuff in. YouTube is included in there, and then last week with our Instagram with Intention, we announced that we are going to make a Instagram Mastery, and so that will be added into that, so you can get that if you get the premium bonus. honest. There's so much more. If you want to see a breakdown of actually everything that's included, just head over to completeweddingvideography.com and you can see everything that is in every single module. But John, another new thing that we are adding this year, you have been working tirelessly behind the scenes over the last few weeks. Really, this idea has been brewing in your head for probably the last 6 months or so. But you have put together what you are calling the Wedding Videographer's Guide to the Upsell. This is like a 25, 30-page document, and you just kind of dumped everything that you are thinking about and everything that you are going to whenever it comes to selling more to your clients. So we're going to spend a majority of our episode today actually talking about the guide to the upsell and kind of things that we are thinking we are going through whenever we do that upsell process. So John, why don't you just kind of give, your elevator pitch of what the guide to the upsell is?
Sounds great. I'm going to pretend the elevator is like in the Empire State Building or something, because so I'll have a long time to kind of talk about it. But no,
yeah, that's good. That's good.
I love everything you were talking about with the course. Before pushing into this guide, I just want to reiterate, we wanted to create something that just wasn't there when we started our wedding video business. So whether or not you're really great at business or really great at shooting or editing, there's something in there for you. And at $14.97, if it helps you book one wedding, it's worth the cost and then more. And we have tons of happy reviews. They're all through all through the website, all on our Facebook group. We'll be posting in the group all week. If you have questions of anyone that's in the group, we're a wide open book. So that's going to be super great for a lot of you. And then, like Nick was saying, yes, I've been working on this for 5-6 months, but ultimately this new guide is the culmination of 15 years of practicing and trying out new things. And we have our email templates, we have a process, and every time I talk to people, they're like, well, how did you, get them to do really good interviews on the wedding day? Or how did you get them to buy all that stuff? Or did you sell everything at the beginning? And what it really comes down to, I think, is a lot of wedding filmmakers just are super nervous when it comes to the idea of sales. And I break it down to just even the definition of what an upsell is. And I start with the problem. I work all the way through my entire process that is averaging me $2,000 to $4,000 extra dollars per wedding over the last 3 years of how I upsell and how I just sell in general from the time they get to my website all the way through their anniversary. Included in this is every single email template that I use when it comes to the selling portion. Some of these are in that new email pack, but there's 10 or 15 emails that are in this guide as well, walking them through how to book consultations, how to book them, like how to sell more on the consultations, all the way through for every single meeting. So we're going to get into that. This is going to be a product that will eventually be available in our store. But for right now, it's only available if you have already purchased the complete wedding video course, or if you purchase it this week. So a lot of big things. We got our first 50 promo. We've got the course open now for the next 7 days as this podcast launches. $14.97, everything you need to run a 6-figure business. But we're going to go to break. After we get back, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to go deeper into this Wedding Videographer's Guide to the Upsell. We're going to give you some tangible tips that will help you in your business today. So we will be back after this break. Nick and I have to tell you about one of our favorite places to upload our wedding films, and that is Love Stories TV. Love Stories TV is one of the best free resources for us wedding filmmakers. The best part is they are bringing the couples to us. All we have to do is upload our films and we are good to go. Upload unlimited wedding films to your completely free business page. Setup is easy and your films can be live in just minutes. Now is the perfect time to start uploading to Love Stories TV. So head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv to check out all of the details and see how Love Stories TV is giving away $10,000 in cash to wedding filmmakers just like you. That's howtofilmweddings.com/lovestoriestv to start uploading and connecting with the right couples today.
Hi, it's Michael from Wedditor. We want to thank everyone for the incredible support we've received since sponsoring How to Film Weddings. Yes, we've had some growing pains, but we've had far more wins. And we're doing something that's never been done. We're a remote team of over 50 editors in 10 countries. I often joke that we're as much a logistics company as we are a creative company. Right now, demand is off the charts. And we don't just say yes to everyone and scramble to figure it out. That's why we're asking you to help us help more of you. In short, we're looking for more talented web editors, part-time or full-time, work from where you want, when you want, as long as you hit deadlines and deliver quality. It's a chance to get paid while growing as an editor. Our project managers work with you, explaining why something feels right or doesn't, because there's always a reason. If you're interested, we'd love to hear from you. Go to wededitor.com/editor and fill out our form.
John, I'm going to bring us back from break. I know you took us to break, but I want to bring us back. And I'm just reminded of, something yesterday, actually, as we're recording this in our mastermind group. We did this whole long presentation on perfection versus progress. Okay. And there are so many of us, whenever we're talking about something like upselling or selling more or doing that kind of stuff, you probably go to, well, I want to have everything figured out. Like, I want to know exactly what it is that I need to say. I want to get, my I's dotted and my T's crossed and, know exactly what I need to do. And the problem with doing something like that is we then become, paralyzed. We get scared because we're trying to get it all figured out before we do it. And so we are really we are really leaning into with this guide to the upsell about progression, moving forward. And maybe you don't, maybe your thing is like, I do everything via email now. I just show up on the wedding day and that's when I meet the couple, and I don't do any in-person sales calls or Zoom calls or anything like that. So maybe the step that you need to take is even before the upsell is like, maybe, okay, how can I integrate into a sales call? How can I integrate, a Zoom and talking to my couples more, or doing something like that. But that's the progression that we're talking about. And so as we are moving forward, as we are talking about this guide to upsell, think about what are some things, as we've mentioned, are small steps that you can take. Because if you implementing some sort of sales after the wedding, if you could get on the low end $250, $500 per wedding, well, I mean, if you're shooting, 20 weddings and you get $500 more a wedding, I mean, I would like an extra 10 grand a year, wouldn't you? Wait, did I do that math wrong?
No, that's right. I was actually watching to see if you did it right. I was going to laugh if you got it wrong, but you got it right.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're able to just, incorporate some of these things, that could happen. And so as we're talking about the guide to the upsell, like, keep that in mind about just progressing a little bit rather than maybe be like, oh, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm going to step away. I'm just not going to listen to this any further. So John, why don't you talk about for a second, what is an upsell?
Yes. And I will start with a story. I think it was like right before we started How to Film Weddings. I lost out on a $7,000 booking. And at that time, that would have been one of my biggest bookings. And it was because I tried to do too much at the very beginning. I tried to sell them everything they needed. I knew what they needed. They needed these extra things. But they passed on me because I, at the very first meeting, tried to make them understand everything that I knew after doing this for however many years in one 60-minute meeting. And so, like, this is where this kind of started. And I started to really look back at, like, what I had done correctly over the past 15 years of doing consultations and sales, and what was, and what I'm realizing is that most people just get the whole process wrong. They think their website's going to do the work for them. They think their films are going to do the work for them. And yes, that would be the case. But to me, answering your question, an upsell would be any sales after the initial sale, and even the actual sale itself. So you book a wedding, and then anything and everything that you can make after the initial booking would be selling them more, an upsell. And that, to me, is something that I think feels slimy if you do it wrong. But if your heart is correct in what you're thinking about and how you're doing this, it's not super slimy. It's not slimy at all. It's actually awesome. It helps serve the couple. And that's the idea of this guide, is we want you to not only serve your couples better, but guide them into a better experience. And so that's the solution to the problem that I see. You know, the problem is that most people just don't know what it takes when it comes to sales. They feel like a bad salesperson when they're asking people for more money or money in general. And the solution is to learn how to serve your couples by upselling them during this process. I throw it out in the guide a ton, is like, you don't want to sell something that a couple doesn't need. But hitting on, the whole Donald Miller story brand book, guiding your couple, you're not the hero, you're the guide. And if your filter from the time that they get to your Instagram account, maybe that's the buyer journey for you, is they find you on Instagram and then they get to your website, then they inquire. If everything is guiding them and showing them you're here for them and you're not just here to sell them something, all the sales stuff works itself out.
Yeah, I know that whenever I started this, I never wanted to be a salesman. I never wanted to be someone that would, have these kind of calls. I naively thought that my work will sell itself. And at some level, to some people, your work does sell itself. To some people. To the majority of people, it doesn't, especially people that are looking for weddings and like wedding videographers. And they're looking at 10, 15, 20 different people before they reach out to, the 3, 4, 5 that they, potentially want to hire. And so what is going to make you stand out? What is going to make you a little bit different? I know that I really bought into the myth is that sales is icky and gross and I would be sleazy. I bought into the myth that it just wasn't my thing. I bought into the myth that it was really uncomfortable talking about finances and numbers and how much it's going to cost. And, I understand that can be a little bit icky and a little bit uncomfortable, but I think that more comes from a fear of, not being confident in the numbers that I'm throwing out there. So if I'm charging $5,000 and I'm talking to someone like, well, how much does it cost? I'll send you the paperwork, something like that, rather than say, it's $5,000. And they say, wow, that's a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years or 10 years. Yeah, I've filmed all over the place. I've, done backing it up with that confidence. And then, I don't want people to think I'm overdoing it. I remember whenever we first met and I showed you my pricing guide, you were like, keep it simple, stupid. Like you have so much stuff on there. You have so much information that, it's paralysis by analysis. They're just looking over it. Okay. And this is where most people, I think, get it wrong. I know that I got it wrong in that talking about, right whenever we got started is we're presenting them everything at the beginning. And then that just crumbles them, it crushes them, and it's way too much information. And so we want to, have a process where you go, okay, this is going to be the inquiry. And then after booking, and this is what I'm going to do, and break it up into steps. Because I believe, John, isn't this right? It's much easier to get more money out of a current client than it is to get a brand new client, right?
Very much. It's like 5 times more expensive or 10 times more expensive. And I love what you're saying there, where most people get it wrong. And I think the goal of this entire guide, was to help show people a clear path that not only will make you more money, but it helps the client, it helps the couple get more out of the experience. And so if you're imagining it, it's like, what if you could charge more, shoot less, and make your clients even happier? So that's what we're here for. And what I realized is the slower I took this process, and if I had an actual guide, an actual plan, an actual process to all of this, I could book them and let the couple know, here's what I recommend booking today. Here's where we should get started. It's a year before your wedding. We don't know if you're going to do a rehearsal dinner. We don't know your timeline. We don't know all of these things. So this is what I recommend. Again, you're guiding them and you're saying, I recommend you book, for me, most of my couples, especially before I started really charging a lot more, it would be, we'd start with 8 hours and 2 shooters, a feature film and a ceremony edit and maybe some aerial coverage, but build them like a basic plan based on the knowledge that you have through your consultation with them. If this is where I think we should start. And then allow them to process the information that most likely we would need to add some more stuff. We just don't know what that is yet. And so if I can get you to hear one thing in this episode, it's like, don't try to do all of the sales at the very beginning or even before they book. Instead, guide them through a process. And this guide will do that for you. The way I built it out really even started with just the way your website guides people. And I'm okay to talk about that for a second, Nick, of just like things that your website can do to guide people into booking you, which is going to lead to upsells. Because I think the upsell happens before you actually start booking them. So when it comes to websites, Nick, what advice or thoughts do you have when it comes to like helping guide your couples so that the sales process will begin so that you can have these upsells?
Yeah, I think that you on your website want to accurately portray, the type of things that you want to shoot. Okay. Are you speaking to your ideal couple? Are you showing the type of stuff that you want to shoot? We on our website, all of our featured videos are destinations for us, places that we have gone, everywhere from, Cabo to Joshua Tree and Idaho and, just all these places all over the United States, because we want to show off that we are a destination business, that we will travel and we go places that are cool and we can, tell these stories. And so I think presenting yourself in the correct light, being consistent across your social media platforms, you are letting them know certain things about you. And by the look of your website and the feel of your website, you can I believe, we have it listed. I think that locally it's, we say we start at 8,000 or something like that. But whenever you go to our website, even if I didn't have the price on there, I like to believe that people would look at what we have and say, these people are expensive, like without even, putting a price out there. And so we're kind of setting them up to, go down, we're speaking to our ideal people, I guess is what I'm saying. What do you have to add?
Yeah, I think that one of the things when making this guide, there's actually a section talking about your website in it. And just, asking yourself some of these questions like, does your website easily guide them to reach out to you to book? I can't tell you how many websites that we see where the calls to action are not there and it's not easy for them to get in touch. Another question I ask is, does your website speak to their soul? Does it speak to who they are, or does it turn them off? It's okay if it does that. And then the other thing is, do they leave your website feeling like they know you, and walking through some of that. And there's a ton more in here just about like how to set up an inquiry form, how to handle inquiries, how to send emails, how to get them on that initial call. But I want to walk through, Nick, just a little bit of the process after, like, let's say the consultation happens. We do have our consultation guide. So what we've done now is within the course and within all these guides is we have guides for every single step of the process. We have a guide for the consultation, and now we have a guide for what you do after you get this booking, making sure people don't try to overwhelm the couple when they're getting those bookings. And then what happens after the wedding or after the consultation, the wedding gets booked. Most people forget to do anything at this point. Maybe they send a questionnaire, maybe they, reach out every now and then, but in this guide, we really break down what I've done. And I'll just say this, I said it earlier, on average, I was between $2,000 and $4,000 of extra sales over the last 2 years per wedding. And that really added up. It was like $50,000 to $60,000 extra dollars a year and more bookings because of that. So this is something you don't want to take lightly. Like, so what is your plan after you book? One of the things that we do is we really want to establish ourselves as their guide through this process. So a couple of days after the booking, I think I stole this from you, Nick, we send a vendor recommendation email. We start the process of letting them know, here's who we recommend, here's why we recommend them. And you get these bonus points if you're recommending people that you really love to work with. You're starting to give them referrals. Like, it's this entire, cycle that helps you get more bookings from more referrals. And so, like, from the moment that you book, what is your plan? We've laid it out for you. Anything you want to add, Nick?
No. I think that the biggest problem that people have with an upsell, other than just being scared to do it because it's new territory or something like that, I think one of the biggest things is that there is no plan. And whenever hope is your strategy, I hope they do this upsell. Maybe they'll just remember from my initial brochure that I sent that I do offer raw footage for $1,000. Maybe they'll ask for that, down and they might. But if you don't have some sort of plan, like none of this is going to happen. And I think that is what, this guide is a plan for you. Now, this is pretty much almost verbatim what John does at a wedding. There are some things on here I don't focus as much on the upsell, but I know that is something that I need to progress on and take steps on. But this is what John does, and he is not speaking as someone who, this is just a good idea, I think you should try it. Like this process is what he has been doing for the last couple of years, and it has made him thousands and thousands of dollars per wedding based on doing these few things that we have in here. So, John, I don't know how much we need to dive in and check on this. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
what
what
do you think?
Thoughts.
Okay,
yeah, I have thoughts.
Of course you do.
I want to go a little further, and we can't obviously go through everything that's in this guide in this episode, but we want you to kind of, whether or not you grab this guide, whether or not you join our course, if you leave this episode thinking, man, I really need to put together a strategy, and really need to think this through, I will kind of outline some of the things just that are like, helicopter view, airplane view of what this guide is. Not necessarily even the guide, but just my plan, like you said. The purpose for me is I do want to establish myself as their friend, their connection. Like I just like a professional, but I'm there for them. If they need anything, here's my number. Here's the links to 3 or 4 florists. I'm there. And if anything happens, you want to chat, I'm here for you. I'm not going to bug you. But in my plan, I have drafted automated things that happen no matter when through my CRM. At 6 months out, they're getting an email asking for a Zoom call to walk through their 6-month checkup. And this is where I can really, at that point, I've built a lot of value. I can walk them through what's in their package. I can learn about their timeline. I talk about in the guide who should be in this meeting, all the way down to a meeting, 3 months before, or when to send a questionnaire, how to take great care of them on the wedding day itself. And then what do you do after the wedding? How can you take advantage in a good way of the excitement of this wedding and sell more things? Right before we hit record on this podcast, I was delivering some of my final films through VidFlow, and I have a template email that says, hey, here's your final films. Click here to view the gallery. Just as a final reminder, these are 2 or 3 things you still haven't purchased. You don't have the raw footage. You didn't get the ceremony. You didn't get, we could go longer on this edit. If there's any of these things you want, just reply here and we can work those for you right now before we move on to the next project. And not every single person buys a ton of stuff. But what happens when you slowly get to know them very well, and once they really trust you, you can sell them anything. And don't stop ... there. That you shouldn't just sell them anything. Build trust with people and build a trustworthy brand by never selling anything that you wouldn't sell your own daughter, your own son, your own family. And think about that whenever you're doing these things. Maybe you're in need of money today. Well, that doesn't mean you should try to sell something that they don't need. But if you are honest with them and say, I don't think you need that thing. I don't think you should have me there that long. And you build this relationship around this love for them and serving them. Guess what happens? They start referring you for more and more and more people. And so the entire process, I whittled it down to everything, including every single template, bullet points and paragraphs about each meeting that I do and why I do it. And then it allows you to customize it based on that with what works the best for you. As I'm growing into more of a luxury market, I'm selling a lot of these things at the beginning. There's not as much contact with the couple. So don't write off the entire thing if you don't want to talk to the couple as much or if you don't have as much time. But this will help get your mind going in the direction that it needs to be.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of those things, step-by-step process of the upsell. Like this is really going to help you after you get those clients and how to move forward with them and how to communicate with them and how to talk with them and, really grow your business and grow your bottom line and sell more stuff. Again, we want you all to make as much money as possible. Like we want you to succeed in your business. We want you to succeed for yourself, for your family, for whatever. But in doing this, hear us in saying that we're not just selling people stuff. I remember like last year, there was this bride that was like, hey, I'm thinking about upgrading to your top package. And I had talked to her and everything was at the same venue. Like we were going to be there all day. Maybe she could have used 9 hours. It had 8. She didn't need 12. We had talked to we're not doing letters. We're not doing our own vows and stuff. I was like, I would like to maybe have us see if you need a longer film, it might just not work out, because I knew some of this information. And so I actually talked her out of a $2,000 payday for myself when she was ready to book it, because I didn't think that we needed it. And whenever you do like that goes such a long way for customer service, for relations, for, and now I continue to get referrals from them based on the fact that I said, nope, I don't think you need that. I don't want to take your money. So just having that attitude is really going to go a long way. John, I think we're running close on time, about ready to wrap up. Is there anything you want to share about this thing before we get out of here?
I do have one, obviously always have more thoughts. But like what you were saying there, whenever you build your business around honesty and taking great care of people and realizing that it is not bad to make more money doing more stuff and serving them well, I am happy to go buy the newest iPhone when it comes out because I know that it's going to serve me well. They've done a great job branding, marketing to me. I trust their product. Like I love what it does for me. So I'm going for it. The new MacBook comes out and it's like, man, it's time for me to upgrade computers. I'm trustworthy of that. And, building that loyalty, with your bride that you talked to, that you didn't sell anything extra to her. Once they treat you like family, for me, that's so like important. Yes, I'm still working for them, but like they are there and they trust me. I talked with a couple yesterday and her mom was on the Zoom call. They booked me for like $16,000 for their wedding this year. And mom just on the call was like, hey, do you have a hotel room yet? And I was like, no, I haven't booked it. And she's like, don't worry about that. I'll book you a few nights. We want to take care of you. And it was just like, wow, thank you so much. Like I was going to take that out of what they, were charging me. But like, she was like, is there anything like, what do you like for dinner? What do you want? And I'm like, where is like, I'm getting paid $16,000 to be here. I do not need anything extra from you, but they're generous and they want the best for me because they can just tell that I care about their daughter and I care about the film and it allows me through this process, not just to figure out ways I can sell things, but I get to learn more about these couples. And that's something that we get asked in our mastermind. How do you get those interviews? How do you know the couple so well before the wedding day? It's because we take the extra time. And at the same time, whenever we're doing this, we're taking the extra time. Of course, we're going to recommend things that we think they might need. So if you're on the fence about the complete wedding videography course, this guide, I think this guide alone is worth the cost of admission. Like, I think it will help you book more weddings. I think it will make you more money with all the weddings you've already booked this year. If you implement what is on this guide, it's 15 years of me studying how to do this all in one place for you. So if you're on the fence about it, be sure to head over to completeweddingvideography.com just to see what it's all about. Check out the course. Check out that free giveaway that we're doing. I mean, it's a big week, Nick. We got a lot more coming this week. Nick, it's always so good to hang out with you. Thank you for being my bestest, goodest, beardedest buddy. Anything else to add before we sign off, my friend?
No, I don't think so. Think so. Just remind people out there to head over to completeweddingvideography.com, completeweddingvideography.com. And, in our Facebook group, if you have any questions, you have any thoughts, if you need anything, we are happy to answer them this week. We are here for you this week on course launch week. So, John, you land that plane, buddy.
Well, okay. It was like a co-landing. I like this. No, everyone have a great week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, we will see you.
See ya.
Are you looking for a better way to deliver your wedding films to your couples? Look no further. Our friends over at Wedflow provide the most flexible video delivery solution on the market. Wedflow is pay-per-project with no large upfront cost or commitment, and you can cancel anytime. Not only that, Wedflow offers a premium viewing experience for your couples, accessible on mobile, tablet, desktop, as well as their very own suite of TV apps. Each project comes with 10 years hosting and an experience for your clients that will blow them away. Stop delivering your films the old-fashioned way and give your couples something to rave about. Head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/Wedflow to check out Wedflow today.